Look at the cute little bunny.
Look at
It goes
the
bouncy,
rabbit.
bouncy, 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 bouncy. Ooh, it's time to start the show.
Everyone
Okay,
thinks
where did it
because
go?
you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
The Dorkening and all affiliated shows are not intended for anyone under the age of 18. The following may contain discussions or scenes that have adult situations, graphic violence, nudity, strong sexual content, and graphic language. This show is intended for mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
You're watching Tanner's Haunted Secrets
on the Outline Network.
What they say.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's a secret sound hidden deep within the center of the earth. Until you listen closely enough, you can hear it. And it sounds like razors through flesh. We are merely here to turn out the volume.
This is Maximus Christian Bryant with the Ohio Haunters Association, president, and you are watching Chainer's Haunted Secrets on the Owl Light Network.
Whoa, that guy's name is Maximus? Oh, jeez. Well,
I'm sorry, Maximus. I love you.
Well, look at all you people watching out there in internet land, because we don't do TV land. I would like to welcome you here to another wonderful episode of Chainer's Haunted Secrets. And my microphone has taken out my shoulder. That is really weird, but I'll get that handled here in a second. I would like to welcome everybody back. And we have Friday. She's returned. Good job. And then we also have this wonderful little slider girl. And man, oh man, I met her years ago, and I'm so glad that she's able to be on here. And she has made a wonderful career out of doing different stuff in the haunted house industry. And the reason that I know her is because me and her got to spend quality time for 4 days. And that was wonderful. But we're not going to talk about me. We're going to talk about her and whatever she wants to talk about. And let me just tell you right now, loving the green in the back. So, yeah.
Well, green is my color.
Yeah. So, Britt, do me a favor. Introduce yourself. Tell us why you are a person with the haunted house industry.
Well, my name's Bret. I've been in the haunt industry. I really started in 2018, but I do have experience even further back, dating back to when I was about 10 to 12 years old when I was in Girl Scouts, funny enough. We used to put on haunted houses for all the littles, so I would like to think that that's where my spark really came from. But through the years, definitely, obviously, that teenage stuff hit me, and I was that little, scary. But then once I got involved in the industry in 2018, it opened my eyes to so many different things, and now I barely flinch walking through a haunted house.
Yeah, if you could get me the jump, kudos to you. I love it, man. If you could get me to jump scare and this and that, that's awesome. Last OHA meeting we had, we went through Haunted Hurrah,
Oh,
and when we went through Haunted Hurrah, he said, "Make sure you watch your step and watch your head." Well, I was watching my step and watching this animatronic, and I ran my head straight up into a scene entryway and actually lifted the next scene up. Yeah. So,
What?
yeah, I'm pretty sure I had a concussion, but you know what? Accidents happen. We won't always want you guys to be very safe and have a little more thought process and where you're going than this crazy guy here. But now, you had a good start when you were little.
Mm-hmm.
So where's the passion come from that keeps you going?
Honestly, it really stems from this one moment that I remember from my first year. So I started, like I said, I started in 2018 when I was 16 years old. I started at Kings Island in a haunted house called Backwoods Bayou. And I was this like cult swamp child. And I remember being in my zone, and it was a very dry scare zone. We didn't have very many people that night, or a very dry maze. So I was covering, like, it was like me and two other people were covering the entire back half of this maze, just trying to make it work. And I remember this woman coming through. I jumped out from behind the barrels and I just, like, screamed. Like, I just screamed. That's all I did. Like, it was very basic, but she dropped to the ground and she was lying there and I was like, "Are you okay?" And she was like, "I peed myself." I had never experienced that before. Like, 16-year-old me in this like floor length dress sitting here and I'm just like, "Do you need help?" Like, nobody prepared me for this. I had no idea what was happening. So I like helped the woman out of the maze. Not even a half hour later, I jump up from behind the barrels. Same woman drops to the ground. She goes, "Gosh darn it, you did it again." And she was fully serious about it. We had to close down the maze. It was a whole thing. But definitely, like, my first year being such a little scare actor and everything, and having somebody wet their pants in front of me 2 times within a half hour, like, just blew my mind. And then just every year since, like, getting those scares where people jump back and drop to the ground and are like, "Oh my gosh, that just came out of you." Like, out of everybody here, you just did that. So
That's
it really, like, created such a passion within me, and just, like, the adrenaline. Like, I just thrive off of it. Of who knows
that's
what you can
awesome.
get. Yeah.
And that's the greatest thing, you know. I've made mention of this multiple times. When you're a scare actor, um, usually it's called being a fear feeder because you feed off of the person's adrenaline, the rush, and everybody. And that's one of the greatest things. And fear feeding is one of the greatest things haunt actors can get hooked on. And
Yeah.
when I say hooked on, I mean this is our personal little legal drug. And it is
It
a great
really is.
thing because, you know, you're looking for the next fix, which means that you're looking for the next opportunity, which means that you want to make yourself better.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Now, I see Friday's got a twinkle, or she's got a twinkle off of her screen or glasses. You want to say something, don't you?
Oh yeah. Okay, I don't. I know you probably see this thing to the side, but it sounds. I want to make sure it sounds the way I need it to sound. You are a slider. You have to have the type of bravery and the confidence in yourself to know what you're going to do and how it's going to happen when you do the slide. How did you That's one of the things that my kid was wondering. How did you get the bravery to just start going type of thing?
I mean, I scared for about 3 years before I even attempted sliding, and I think working with so many more experienced veterans in the scare acting community and just talking with them and stuff, and then when I became a slider at Kings Island, that was in 2022 is when I became a slider at Kings Island, and like we before I even started there, I knew all of them, and they told me that I'd be perfect. They wanted me. They said that they loved my energy, my drive. Like, I was known. The year before I started, I was in Coney Mall at Kings Island as a clown, and so I was known in Coney for how much energy I had and how hard it was to find me, because one second I could be at one end of the scare zone, and the next I could be at the other, and then I could be totally gone. It was just, I was moving too fast and nobody could ever find me. So they really loved that energy and how fast I was about things. So they took me under their wing, and I worked privately with a few of them. And then I auditioned, and my first year, I definitely don't think, like, obviously, whenever anybody starts doing something, you're not the best at it right off the bat, and I still don't think that I'm the best at anything that I do. I definitely feel a lot more accomplished after 3 years of sliding, but it took a lot of time to get to the point, and honestly, I think it's just one of those things where it's like the Nike slogan, "Just do it." You just gotta do it sometimes, and I really just jumped straight into the deep end and was just like, it's sink or swim here. I'm with the big boys now. I was on a team of 14 sliders. Three of us were female, and one of them was brand new with me. Pyle actually knows her, Elizabeth Metcalf, or Beth, as most people might know her. Amazing scare actor, an amazing slider as well. So privileged to be able to work with her over the years. But not only, like, she showed me a lot of what it means to be a female scare actor as well, but it's just getting over the fear and just doing it. Like, I don't know, it was just something clicked in my brain where it was just like, I need to do this, and if I look scared, like, I know you really, like, you can only see so much of me right now and everything, but later, like, people will see physically what I look like once we show the photos and stuff. I am 110 pounds. I am 5'3". I am not a scary looking person. I am, like Pyle was saying earlier when we were talking, I'm this tiny little child looking girl. Like, I am cutesy, I'm very sweet, like, I don't give off this threatening vibe. So if I show any fear, it's going to be consumed by guests, especially at a place like Kings Island where you're constantly surrounded by guests. You're constantly around people in a house. And I have worked in houses. I've worked at USS Nightmare for the past 2 years, and working there, I fucking love it. Like, it's an amazing, like, it was a whole different atmosphere from working at Kings Island, where, like I said, at Kings Island, I could scare a guest, that guest could get mad, and they could follow me. And, like, there's nothing I could do about it, and they can just keep following me around. But in a house, you got that more like a pop reset type situation is the situation that I was in, where I did a lot of pop and resets. But, like, you can't stop when you're out on the street. You can't stop. So going from being out on the street into a house is kind of differing, but you learn how to just constantly have that, like, I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. And I have fully squared up to men 5 times my size and been like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do right now? And just, if I show them an ounce of fear, they've won. And I never want anybody to feel like they could walk on top of any scare actor. I've stood up for other scare actors, other guys, I mean, this past year, I literally had to pull a dude off of another scare actor. And this guy was 6'2", probably over 200 pounds, pure muscle man. And I pulled him off of another scare actor and got between the two of them and like had to figure out how to de-escalate the situation. You can't show fear. Even if you're scared out of your pants, you just can't show anything. I hope that answers the question.
Oh, that's
It
great.
does. It does.
That gives me something I can show her.
Yay.
Sorry, I'm late, everybody.
I
I had some issues at home, but I really wanted to be here because I've heard a lot about you because I know a lot of people that know you. I've never met you, but I've just heard a lot.
I'm so happy to finally meet you in person.
Yeah, I know you've worked with my friend Beth. You've worked. I think Sebastian Heck knows you. He was talking to me about you.
I worked with
him and I are very
Sebastian.
close. I just stole Sebastian last year.
Oh, really? Oh, yay.
Yeah, we stole him over here at Hell's Dungeon. AJ Klassen, I think, works over there at the Nightmare still.
Yes, yeah, I do know AJ, yeah.
He came from us originally, yeah.
Oh, that's so
You've
cool.
got to meet her very, very, very shortly one night because I actually picked her up, threw her over my shoulder, and I walked right by you, and you said, "Are we just picking up people?" I said, "Picking up girls, yes." And I walked right by you.
See, that was one of my in between where I was probably running to put out a fire somewhere. You know, not a literal fire, but
this is who I had on my shoulder, and everybody was just like, they can pick you up out of line. I'm like thinking, this one I can.
So I've met you without meeting you. Check.
Yes. I find that seems to be a situation for a lot of actors. A lot of people have just met me. Like I didn't even know people at USS Nightmare, and people were coming up to me like, "Bret, it's so nice to finally meet you." And I'm like, I don't know you.
When you're a good person and a good haunter, word gets around about you, man. Like, that's just how it is in the industry.
I'm a good person. I'm good people.
Unlike Pyle over there. Ghost me for weeks, doesn't talk to me.
Shade.
He took me out to the woods and then just dumped me, man. Messed up, Pyle.
I think he's frozen.
I think he's frozen too.
That's why I'm continuing to talk shit about him, because he can't say anything.
I did freeze. I can hear you.
Oh,
I know you can hear me, but you're still so frozen. You sound like 3PO right now. Beep, 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 beep.
And is kind of...
No, that's R2D2.
Yeah, now he's R2D2.
Hi, Nathan.
Oh, that's my brother.
Hell yeah.
Hi, brother.
What's up, bro?
Dude. Okay, since
you're still frozen, Pyle. Like, your audio is still puckered up too.
Oh my
okay, since he's still messed up, I'm gonna go ahead and sneak in another question. When you started haunting compared to when you started sliding, was the prep exercises or the mental and physical different in how you started getting ready?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was yeah, for when I first started and just as a roamer, like I would do some small stretches and everything, just get kind of limber, and then I would just go for it, and that would just be the night. But with sliding, like we would, so from my year when I did Kings Island, I would go to makeup. Like I would get into costume, I'd go to makeup, they'd do my makeup, and then I would stretch, and I'd put my pads on. I actually have all of my equipment sitting right next to me, so I can actually talk about that. So, most people, when they slide, want to wear some kind of like flexible, stretchy, kind of form-fitting bottoms is what I recommend for beginners. And then you're gonna get these lovely things. I just call them sleeves, but I believe their real name is called a gasket. But it's like this extra layer of padding that you can put over your knee. So I've got Killer Pads, their brand, and I absolutely love them. But yeah, it just adds this extra layer. Like you can kind of see that extra padding on there and stuff. and then it has like a nice breathable fabric on the back of it that's nice and stretchy. So that just really helps with the pinching, because when you put the pads on, you have all this Velcro behind you, and it's connecting right behind your knees. So the back soft part of your kneecap, like that back part of your knee, is exposed, and your clothes can bunch up there, and it can become extremely irritating, and can cause a lot of skin irritations, rashes. I've had the backs of my knees cut open before, just from constant rubbing, just completely like cut open, and it's really painful. But yeah, so I'd put on the I'd put on the sleeves, and then I put the pads on, and then we wear steel toe boots, which the steel toe boots can restrict a lot of your ankle motion. So I personally use now more currently, the way I slide is I use my feet a lot, and like more recently, a lot of my pop-ups, I've been resorting to, I used to be a ballet dancer. I'm resorting to a lot of like my ballet movements. So I'll go into like a little coupe position, like when I land and stuff, but it's hard in the boots because I don't have any kind of like ankle flexibility. But yeah, so we stretch. There's a lot of stretching. You definitely want to make sure that you're stretching. You want to make sure that your legs are prepped. Just really your whole body. Also, mentally going into it, I really have to think about like, what day is it? Is it Friday night? Okay, it's Friday night. Saturday morning, I have to get up. I have to go stilt walk at the park. Okay, great. And then Saturday night, I have to go back to scare acting. And then Sunday morning, I'm getting up, stilting again, and then going back and sliding at the park again. It's 3 days of sliding and 2 full days of stilting. That can get a lot, especially on your knees. So I would do a lot of prep, not only before I would put the pads on, but also at night. And like before I'd go into shifts, I do a lot of Epsom salt baths to just like try and massage out my legs. I have a really nice massage gun that my family gifted me, to really help work out muscle cramps and tension in my legs. Even right now, I slid, was it Sunday? I had a slider meetup on Sunday with a bunch of some new friends that were training and everything. And I mean, I still am in excruciating amounts of pain right now just because I'm so out of practice. But the prep the prep has to do a lot with thinking through the next couple days, because you don't want to go balls to the wall on Friday and then wake up Saturday morning and you physically can't walk, because there are nights that you will finish sliding, you will wake up the next morning, you won't be able to get out of bed. You physically will have to lift your legs out of bed because you're in so much physical pain. And that's not something that goes away with time, because the more time that goes on, the stronger you get, the more you want to slide. So these past couple years, I've slid more and more and more. So it gets harder, especially with age. Like, I'm a very active person, but even like doing it for 3 years, like, but I know sliders that have been doing it for, I think I did the math, that one of the guys that I slide with regularly, he's been doing it for 5 or 6 years now. So he started shortly after I just started my career in scare acting, but he started his career in sliding. So it's a lot, just mentally and physically, but I would say the best ways to prepare for it is think about what you have coming up, what you've already done, and how much stretching can you do. I'd say stretching is probably the biggest thing. Stretching, hydrating, and making sure that you've had a good meal. Not right before. I definitely don't recommend going and loading up at McDonald's or Taco Bell or something, because that's going to go straight through you the second you hit the street and you start moving around and everything. You're going to be done. And I've seen it in person too. So I know it's true. It's not a good idea. So
The brown streak of warning.
Welcome back, pal.
Yeah. I don't know what exactly is going on. My internet says hello, and it's pumping at 135 megabytes per second, and my uploads at 100 plus. But yet, StreamYard decides that it is on my lower end. I don't know why.
It could be a StreamYard issue right now.
It's something. Apologize for leaving you guys, and trust me, I tried getting back as soon as I could because this is one of the people that I like hanging out with. And when you guys get a slider get together, please talk to your slider friends and see if a outcast can come, because I would really just like to come and just watch you guys.
Oh yeah, I can definitely, the next time, if we can plan like a solid meetup, I for sure will I'll throw it out to you there for sure. I know currently right now, we're in the works of getting videos of us practicing, just because we would like to shed light on what truly goes into sliding, kind of like Pyle, how we talked earlier and stuff, of like, people don't truly know how much goes into it. Like I've had multiple people in the last year tell me that they want to slide, go out, get pads, and they're like, I know what I'm doing. They go out and they slide, and then I find out a week later, and I go and I meet up with them and I teach them, and they're like, oh, that feels so different. I was not doing any of that. And it's like, did you know that there's a correct way to fall?
Yes.
There's a correct way.
I absolutely did it wrong.
Yeah. Because most people are like, oh, I've got knee pads on, I can just hit the ground. No. You have to glide. You have to glide into the ground. If you hit the ground, you will bust your knees. You're going to be out for the count. Your career will not last long if you do it that way.
Right. There's a lot of factors to a lot of people understanding what sliding is. And honestly, I have told people many different times, who do you know that can go put ice skates on, run and jump on that ice the very first time and be able to do it perfectly and magically? This is the same notion. Number one, you need to know how to build up your speed. Number two, you need to know how to come down from your speed, because some sliding, you got to understand there's a perfect speed for it. If you're too fast, you'll mess yourself up. If you're too slow, you're not going to get the lunge and the slide distance that you want. There's also competition in sliding that you can actually put little discs down, and people actually have to jump as they are sliding. This is a real thing, and I hope everybody understands that we might be crazy doing haunted houses and this and that, but there is a lot of talent in this that a lot of people don't understand. You got to look at your surroundings. Is your asphalt got cracks? That is a major thing. It's fun to jump the cracks, but when you're just learning, don't learn on the cracks.
Yeah. Even like I said, when I was practicing on Sunday, I was simply just practicing and running through basic drills on Sunday. But there was a point where one of the fingers on my gloves, right here, you can see how it kind of sticks up from the glove, caught a crack. But thankfully, I know that feeling so well, I was able to pull my hand off the ground before it caught me, and like, because
Yeah.
even that slightest thing can completely throw you off. And that could be the difference between you getting a scare and getting a lawsuit. Like, if you
Yeah.
wipe out on a guest because you don't have control, you don't understand your speed, you have to physically be able to stop on a dime. And if you physically can't do that, you risk running into guests.
We had a
So
little bit of
please
an issue
correct
with that.
me.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Please correct me if I'm wrong on this. But Kings Island's got all 3 to 4 different types of sliding areas, as in like asphalt, they have concrete, they have brick, and they have
Blacktop.
Yep. So you have all these different things that you can slide on. So it's kind of a great place to train and get it figured out. But I think you guys slide the best on even bricks, better than the asphalt or blacktop.
So blacktop is actually, most sliders I find love blacktop because it's such a straight surface that you can really glide across it. So at Hell's Dungeon, you guys have that slick, like concrete, yeah.
Yeah.
So I've slid on that before. I also work for the Cincinnati Circus, and I slide in their shows, and I actually put on my own one-woman slider demo that I do. I do like 3 minutes of constant sliding back and forth and do some tricks and everything. But I have done it on that slick concrete before. You guys can pick up some really good speed with that. And if you have the correct kind of gear, you guys could do some really cool tricks.
And this is where the downside that we've had issues. Before we were like, okay, you've been sliding for this amount of years, come in and give it a shot. We've had to change our whole thinking process because, like you said, you build up a lot of speed on that floor. And not every slider, regardless of how many years they've been doing it, is as skilled as stopping on that floor. So now we've gone the route of actor sliding training classes, and we have like senior like sliders that have to approve you before you're allowed to slide. Is that something? Is there any other steps you think a haunt like us or any other haunt out there like us in general could do to make that safer?
Yes, yeah. So definitely. So Kings Island has a full training course. So when actors go in to do their auditions, they request to audition to become a slider. You're not just granted that at any place. Even when I went to work at USS Nightmare, I kind of did a no-no and like snuck my pads in and was just kind of crawling around on the ground being feral. And then I got pulled into the office, and they were like, first off, what is that? And I showed them some videos, and I talked through it with them, and they're like, all right, we're going to test this out for a night. We're going to put you in an area that you could do this in, but we're going to test this out and see what we think. So yeah, it's a lot. But so the way they do it at Kings Island is, like I said, you go in, you ask for an audition spot, and then they bring you in. It can be anywhere between 3 to 4 days, I believe. I think I did mine. Mine was 3 days long, but the first day they just put your pads on. We're gonna go over how to correctly fall. What's a basic slide? What's an all-four slide? These are the different slides that you'll use and everything. And then like you train for a few hours doing that. You get to know everybody. People get to know you and stuff. It's kind of how the first day works. And then the second day, you more crack down and really get to the nitty gritty stuff. So the way Kings Island does it is they have the supervisor or a head slider, like somebody higher up, stands there, and you practice sliding up to them and stopping right in front of them. We've also found that this really works with a cone. So you guys could also put a cone out, like a giant traffic cone, and just be like, this is a guest. Stop before hitting this guest. Because I also know that concrete, even if they can stop on a dime, if there's even the slightest bit of water on that concrete and their footsteps in that, immediate wipeout. And that stuff hurts. I have wiped out on that stuff before. I have gotten burns from that. I've gotten burns and cuts from all sorts of payments. But But I would say start with a cone, practice sliding up and stopping. So just that's the way I would start practicing it. And then adding in people, getting other actors to be groups of people. So we do another thing called avoid and evade, where all the other sliders will walk around and you try to get through them and get to the other side without hitting any of them or getting hit. And they're like coming for you, like they're coming at you. So they're trying to get you to mess up. But it's definitely, that's how I would start it. You gotta have that stop point. Stop by this point. Don't slide past this spot. I'm gonna put a piece of tape, and your toe should be on the tape.
Oh yeah.
Every time.
So
and if
we're
you
talking
can't do
about
that, bail out.
we're talking about stopping here, and my question is, what is a good break? Because I know some of them, they will take the side of their shoe and start using that as a break. I know some of them will press their hands down, and sometimes they have like a piece of rubber or something in their palm. I've seen so many different types of breaks, but in your honest opinion, what is a good break?
The bottom of your boot. I would say,
Okay.
so the way I do it is, if I want more speed, I pick my toes off the ground. And then when I want to stop, I start by picking one foot up and I plant. And that's I've stopped. So really using the front part, it really also depends on the kind of shoe you have. Because I've seen a lot of people use Converse with steel toes on the top of them. So with those, you'll either need to lean more towards your heel, with using your heel to stop, or you're just really going to have to plant it. I have seen people use their hands to slow themselves down. The more contact you have to the ground, the slower you're going to go, is what I found. So you can get a lot of speed in that. But if you start with on your knees, like just a basic on your knees slide, and then you transition down into your hands, it's going to automatically slow you down. Versus if you start from your hands going down, you could still keep momentum. But so you can really gauge it. It really does depend on the person. So like I said, I use mine's just a foot plant, and that's how I stop. But I'm constantly in motion. So the way you'll see me stop is I never do a full stop. I pop up and I roll off. I'm here
Okay.
and then I'm gone. I just roll away. I just walk off to my next person.
So you're saying we should stop getting all the sliders high and greasing the floor?
What?
I'm just joking. Sorry. We should not be getting them stoned and making them slide on grease on the floor. That would probably be a bad idea, right? Not
Maybe
safe.
just a little bad idea. Just a little bit of a bad idea, maybe.
So at Midwest Hunters Convention, I was able to see this one slider, and he did a absolute excellent job outside of the convention. And they said, hey, you can only do it for so long. And I asked him, I said, what is that around your wrist? And he goes, rubber strips. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I have rubber strips that go from here and on down. And what I do is when I want to break, I will pop one of those in my palm and I'll slam that down, and it starts spinning me where I need to spin. And I told him, I've said, I have never seen that. And he goes,
I've never
think
seen
anybody
that
else has done
either.
it.
That's so cool. Huh. I mean,
But
it would also...
they are rubber strips about like that, and he's got about 3 of them that just dangle off of his costume, and he pops them in his hand. And when he goes a palm slides, everything goes back. As soon as he lifts it up, he just got to twist it just a little bit, grab one of them, and slam it down, and he can control where his break needs to be.
Okay. Yeah, that's a really interesting concept. I would love to see that, like how that would work acting and everything. Because a big thing at Kings Island, the reason that we don't use, I believe the reason that we don't use anything like that and we're trained on how to just plant your foot and automatically stop is for if that child runs out in front of you. You get a kid running out in front of you, they're not paying attention, mom's running after them. They don't care, they don't see you. You're mid-slide going for the group of teenagers in front of you, and this kid comes. You need to be able to stop and think on your feet. And if your natural reaction is to just stand up, you're gonna stop. That's just the way, like,
Right.
I always think of it. But I've
And
definitely done my moments of like stopping, standing up, and doing one of these numbers over children and just being like, oh God, like, don't fall on the child.
right. And he said that this is not the primary break that
Okay.
he does. Usually he can roll, he can do this, he can do that.
Oh yeah.
It's just more along the lines of him sliding in, and he can guide himself to doing a special spin around trick with the brakes.
I would love to see
Trust
that.
me, it was really cool.
Do you know his name by
What's that?
chance? Because I would love to look into this and see
No,
what.
I don't. He was at Midwest 2 years
Okay.
ago, or maybe it was 3 years ago, and yeah, it was just sliders at Midwest cannot be on the show floor, but they can be outside, but they can only do it for about 15 minutes of a demonstration. Then all sliders have to, yeah, there's not much room for them to really do something like that. But
Okay.
yeah, he's just got, it's like a little wrist thing, rubber that came off of it. And I look back at it and I wish I had the pictures.
I think the coolest sliding apparatus I've seen is back when it was like not something I'd really seen before. It's like the late '90s or so. Those wheelie shoes started coming out, like the original version of the wheeled shoes. And
Yeah.
my buddy was like, "I got this idea, and I'm going to slide right across this gravel, concrete, not gravel, this big concrete pad in front of the haunt we worked out when we were kids." And they were like, "Okay, well, you have to build something, make sure it's safe for first, and let us do safety tests." And like, okay, it comes back. Street hockey was super big still in the late '90s, and they had these pucks that you could play with either on ice or on the street. And there was this button you'd hit, and wheels would pop out, like, or the little rollers would pop out, so they would glide across the street. But you'd had to pop them out, otherwise they were just a typical ice puck. So he took those and worked those pucks into gloves. Spent $300 on the specialty wheelie shoes, and he did this thing that I mean, it's basically skating more than sliding. It was the whole thing. If he wanted to, he could just slide out and use the stoppers on the back of the wheelies that he had installed, or he would just put the pucks down to guide him in different directions to surf across the lot. And we thought it was like the coolest fucking thing. And he did it for a whole night, and found out those things weren't made to do what he was doing, and they completely shattered his last slide. And he got these big giant piece of plastic, unfortunately, stuck in his hands. Uh, it wasn't dangerous, only a few stitches, but that's how we haunted back then. That was kind of, you try shit out back then.
Yeah.
But the idea of it was like so cool the way he did it, and I wonder if things like that still exist now or could be made to, at least just in the hands, if not the wheelies. I know they do the custom wheelies still.
Oh yeah. There's definitely I've seen a lot of things just over the years just working at Kings Island that just other sliders have been working on. I know one, he tried to create out of old caps. He took a heat gun and he molded them to the side of his calf. So that way he could do like football, like not football, baseball slides. I could slide like that if he wanted to, where he could slide kind of on the side of his legs and stuff.
So cool.
It worked for a few, and then I know a lot of different people. I know one of the girls I scared with, she put flint rods coming off of her fingers.
Yep.
And created like nails, like cat-like nails
Oh
that she
yeah.
would strike upon the concrete and they would spark, and that was like her thing. And those were so cool. We had to be really careful about those though, because after a while they would sharpen to a point. So you did
Right.
have to make sure you weren't like doing it too much. and she constantly had to redo them. But that was another really cool one. Like if there was just finding ways to add different sparks to stuff. My brother, he actually created these really cool caps. He's still working on them and stuff, but I don't want to touch too much on that and give away his secrets, but he's got some really cool stuff, hopefully, that he'll be pulling out this year. And if he gets a chance to come on the podcast, I'm sure he'd love to tell you guys about them. They're really cool. I got a chance to use them. I just don't want to steal his thunder on that because they're so cool.
I actually have a question for you
Yes,
here, Pyle.
Nathan.
In the world of 3D printing, right? There's so many different types of filament these days. There's even organic filaments now they make for certain types of 3D printers. Could someone go in and actually design and 3D print sliding gear?
Yes, you can. But you got to do it with the right filament.
Right.
Absolutely. And you need to make sure that it is thick enough on the layers. There is a couple different ways to do this stuff. There's even filament that has metal shavings mixed in with it.
Yeah, I've seen those too.
Those are always great ideas, but the side effect to this is if you don't design it correctly, you're going to shatter the filament because filament wants to break
right
left to right instead of up to down.
Okay.
So if you don't do it correctly in the way that it is printing, it is going to absolutely shatter. And I rather in the middle and be able to place that piece crack top ways.
Right.
Oh no, did I disappear again? I hope not.
About half of that was really fast
But,
and doubled because of the internet.
Yeah, so I rather have something break down the middle and me be able to replace it that way and still have that security of having one piece turn into two sideways versus having it break like this and I only got this section and this is now exposed. So it's all I mean, there are some moments there that are so hard that you actually have to bump up the temperature to get them to operate correctly.
It would be an interesting experiment, though. A lot of really good stress tests could be done before human experimentation.
I would love to see a lab rat in slider gear.
I'm not going to put an animal. I would do it to a human way before an animal, buddy. No human. No animal testing here. Just human.
I volunteer as tribute.
But yeah, it's one of those things that durability, you need to find the right stuff, you need to find the right temperature it needs to be done at to get that durability, and you need to do it correctly on which direction that it is printing. That way, if it does finally snap, it's going to snap in a safer way. Because we all know, no matter what you print, it does have a breaking point. And if I go and I put something there and it is designed this way, it's going to want to break this way before it does this way.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
The more you know.
There's actually a lot of sliding companies out there that make stuff. And they encourage... Sinister Slide is one of the companies that I got a chance to talk to this year at Transworld. And I was just fascinated. And they told me, they said, we can absolutely make stuff to custom around your bigger body. And I said, oh no, did it, tried it, didn't work. Nope. I am absolutely here to get information. That way I can bring it back to someone that does slide, and she has an opportunity to do it properly before her body gets tore up. Big boy,
Reverend William.
rolls, tucks, and has a chainsaw named Rachel that talks for him. We all know Rachel, and we love Rachel. And if anybody's going to pay and volunteer tribute to Rachel, Rachel needs to have a special site on somewhere because Rachel is amazing. She's been rebuilt 4 times.
Please.
But now Friday, there's a twinkle in your eye, and I can't tell if it's Rez's fireworks behind him or if you got another question.
Oh, I have a question. As a new person starting out, if you could tell like yourself at the beginning, hey, before you continue, you need to know this to be safer and more well adjusted or whatever, what would you tell a newbie?
Don't give up. Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't give up, for starters, is one thing I would tell them. Everybody has their own unique style. It took, how many people did I go through? I went through 4 different people before I met somebody that was able to teach me how to do a 180. Keep working at it, keep trying new things, experiment with slides. What works for one person might not work for you, and what works for you might not work for another person. We talk about that a lot when we have meetups and everything. We love sitting down and taking apart the way other people do slides and everything. So there are different slides that have been named after other sliders because that's the way they do it, and they've taken what could be considered an all-4 slide and they've turned it into their own thing. And so it's just, everybody has their own style. Don't base your progress off of what other people's levels are. So we had, like I said, on Sunday, we had a lot of newbies in with us and everything. And there was another young lady there. And I kept telling her, I was like, I've been doing this for 3 years. I do this for performances. The way I do a slide is not going to be the same way that you might do the slide. So, just working with them and seeing the way they do things and helping them find their own way to slide using the skills that I've learned. There's always room for improvement. A big thing that I would really say for any newbie, the best way to learn is to listen to other sliders. Just take the advice of other sliders, of other scare actors even. I've met plenty of scare actors that have never slid a day in their lives, but they can still sit down and be like, could you try that? Would that work? Yep. And I'll be like, whoa, I've never thought about that. I'll go try it. And then I go and I do it and it works. So it's just one of those things where you find your own style, but you also have to listen to others. So you want to find your own way, but you also want to take what is already in the know. So practice, never give up, listen to your elders.
So I do want to point out, we've talked about materials that are good sliding materials. So now I want to go on the opposite side. What's the worst material that you found that you should never slide on?
Oh, that I should never slide on?
Yes.
Oh, sticky pavement.
Okay.
So sticky pavement, if you look at it, they're normally flat, square-like tiles. But you'll see the way the marks go. So on blacktop, it's a bunch of itty little baby bumps. On the slick concrete, obviously it's completely slick. On the stones, it's the individual stones. Sticky pavement has X's all over it. It's the lines, they're all going one way, they're all going the other way, they're going literally in fighting direction. They're crisscrossing, they're fighting it, so there's no groove for your pads, for your caps to catch onto, so they just stop. And you just hit a wall at a point. And it is like, ugh. I did it recently. I went to Put-in-Bay for a convention, and I was like, I want to go slide by the water. We're going to go to the monument, and we're going to slide. And I got there, and I went and I dove for a slide, and I hit that pavement, and I stopped. And I froze, and I looked at my friends, and I went, sticky pavement, no! And I ran away, and they were like, what? Hi. But yeah, it just, so I would say sticky pavement is by far the worst pavement, like, because you physically just can't even slide. You physically can't go anywhere. And actually, funny enough, little funny story, because I can throw him under the bus. I have a friend, his first year of sliding, all the returners were like, don't slide on that pavement. And he was like, I can do it. And he went, and he slid, and he ate it. And he cut up his entire side of his body. And that's how he got his nickname. So at Kings Island, you don't get to choose your scare actor name. It's gifted to you by the other sliders based off of something that you do.
Nice.
So he got the lovely name, and he's never been able to live it down, and it will forever be his name, and he will forever have to live with knowing that every time he comes back to slide. So
we're very much like that with the naming and the nicknames of everyone at our haunt. We have a guy in the freak show named Speed Bump, because they wanted to do a foot race behind our building, and it's a strip mall, and we told them not to do that because there's speed bumps, and he was new and didn't know where they were, and he ate a speed bump. So that's his name. My nephew accidentally slipped and fell into an empty trash can, so he's now Trash Panda. We have lots of stories about the different crazy moments that things happen that we name everybody after, or at least I do.
Oh yeah, that's what, it's funny that you say Trash Panda, because the way so my slider name my first year was, Little Rumpke. Because I would find Pyle was talking about this earlier, I would see trash, and I would scream and get super excited and run over like I had found gold, and would just like I'd found like $100 bill on the ground, and I would just pick it up and be like, it's mine, nobody can have it, and stuff. And like I would keep it, and I had like a little pouch, and I would stuff it in there. But then the way the other sliders, and I had to explain this to them multiple times, but it was such a gimmick, but the way I would show my love and affection towards them is I'd walk up to them and I'd go, close your eyes and put your hand out. And they'd be like, no. I found gum, half-eaten candy. I found a little teddy bear plushie. I found a bracelet one time. Like, I would literally, if I found something that I really liked and I thought was really nice, I would go up to one of the other sliders and I would give it to them. And some of them even made them part of their costumes and stuff. Like, they would put the bracelets on. They would find ways to, like, attach it. They would shove it in their pockets and stuff. So that was, like, a fun little bonding moment and a little joke that we all had, that it was like, don't take it from Little Rumpke. So I started giving it to other actors and sending them to the sliders to give it to them, because they wouldn't take it from me anymore. So it was always a fun little thing, and that was something that's how I got my name, was because I started picking up trash, and I was gifting trash, and I would hug trash cans and be like, my love's my home. So, and now at USS Nightmare, I dive headfirst into trash cans and eat out of them, actually. I have fully eaten out of trash cans at USS Nightmare.
Oh, you should have been there for Valentine's Day. I was eating out of paint cans.
Oh,
he was doing a lot for Valentine's Day. Y'all said about how you were dressed and what you were eating out of the paint can.
I believe it.
Yeah, and rubbing all over yourself. He wasn't wearing much, and it was chicken wings.
Oh no! Wait, you sent me photos of that.
That was on our little stage that he built. He built the stage at the haunt for him to do it in the queue line.
Oh my god!
Oh yeah.
I love that.
We used that stage for all kinds of things since then, but he was the one that built it, and it was so he could strip with chicken wings.
Yep, I was taking chicken wings and rubbing them up and down, and I would ask him. I said, "Do you want a chicken wing?" And they would be like, "No." It's like, "Oh, too saucy," and just rub it up and down, get all the sauce off. Be like, "Here you go." And then they said, "Well, I don't eat chicken wings that are on bones." Oh, so I had black gloves on, ripped off the meat, handed them the meat, and it's like, "There you go." And I'm like gnawing on the bone, and they're like, "No." And then random people that knew me down at Hell's Dungeon would be like, "Hey, you're back." It's like, "Yeah, you want a hug?" And they're like, "Yeah." So I give them a hug, and it's like, "I smell hot sauce." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, is that on me now?" Yeah, probably.
He didn't mention the tearaway clothing yet.
Nope.
And the Daisy Duke shorts.
I had shorts. I had shorts on, and I had suspenders, and I actually took
denim.
I had these suspenders attached to the bottom of my shorts, which made them come up. And then I had tearaway pants on, and I would go up to people, and I would have my black gloves on. I would say, "You see my hands?" And they would be like, "Yeah." And I'd grab my pants and rip them off, and I would yell, "Not my pants," and I'd throw my pants up. And the initial shock of what is underneath was freaking people out. People were like, no. And they were, yeah. We had great times. There are photos of this.
And we hope it's a permanent character for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Need new pants. Need new
I
pants.
need to experience this.
I will start a GoFundMe for pants. We will just buy you a warehouse of tearaway pants, sir.
Yes.
Pile needs pants. That's what we're gonna call it.
Pile needs pants.
Or pants for Pile. Yeah, it sounds like an actual charity that way.
There we
pants
go.
For Pile.
You know what? I got that music festival coming up. Maybe I should wear them pants for that.
Oh, I mean, it would work.
Only $25. The price of a monthly Netflix subscription. You too can get Pile some pants.
Anyway, hey, we speaking of getting financial beneficiaries. Hey, we got some commercials that we got to play. So we're going to go ahead, do 3 minutes of commercials. Then we'll be right back. And maybe by that time, I will be already placing an order on Amazon for new pants.
Let's see.
Greetings and shabibans. We are the Retro Reductibus Cephala Podcast, a long-form bi-weekly show that celebrates all the things that made growing up awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good, but I don't know what all those words mean.
I think what Parasite Steve's trying to say is that on Retro Reductibus, we explore a range of retro goodness, from toys, video games, and movies, to cartoons, and even snacks and school lunches.
Oh. And we do it all with a positive spin, a slew of killer guests, and some very adult language.
And you know what else is cool?
No.
This crazy show is part of the Door King Podcast Network with new episodes every Technical Tuesday.
What's that?
And if waiting 2 weeks for a new episode gives you a sad, know that we drop bonus episodes all the time, like the off-format Crow's Nest and an interview series we call The Brig.
You can listen to Retro Octopus on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or any app that's cool enough to carry the only show that celebrates all the things that make growing up awesome.
And we're back, and I'm still searching for pants. I've got one pair that I can't say no. So, yes, I'm going to have to get these big boy pants. And if you are just joining us, we were just talking about how costumes can look awesome and how costumes can freak you out, like a big, huge guy coming at you and ripping tearaway pants off. But right now, we are going to do one of our favorite parts when people send us stuff. And we're going to look at pictures.
Yay.
That's what I said. Yay! Maybe.
It's giving me fits. Hold on a second.
Bad fit.
I say, while we're waiting on that, speaking of costuming, I actually have my mask that I made right here.
Oh, I love that mask. Nothing like that.
I didn't realize how much this mask was going to truly freak people out. At USS Nightmare, when I first started, I wore this mask, a white crop tank, and gray sweatpants. And that was what I scared in.
I'm gonna lie.
Photos.
That costume, the very first costume
I
met you in, was amazing, and your character kept on irritating mine, and yeah, it was some seriously great times.
Oh yeah, and I fully designed that costume. Yeah.
So the way that we do this is we look at the picture and you tell us what we're looking at. Right now, I see a whole bunch of red duct tape along with a small child that looks like they're happy to be there.
Yeah, so this is actually from one of my circus shows. We had a rain out and we couldn't use any of our equipment. I had brought my pads with me, but the initial setup was on grass. But there was this road right in front of it where we were having all of the guests watch us perform, and they were like, "Bret, we gotta clear everything. Throw your pads on, go out there and put on a show." So I went out and I slid straight up to people and I was just doing my thing back and forth. So yeah, I'm wearing my gray sweatpants that I was just telling you guys about, and just a random t-shirt I had. So it was a lot of fun. All the kids, I think there's actually another photo, probably we might see it later on, where I actually stop right in front of a kid. This is a lovely photo from this past Extreme Night at USS Nightmare. So this is my character, Firefly. She is very much of a split personality. So one side of her face is very happy and the other side is very sad. So I've got the heart over the happy side and I actually have tears coming from the other side. And this is a face that I do in photos. And this is by far probably one of my favorite photos of this character because she's just screaming. So, always a fun experience. Yep, and then there's my mask. That's me at USS Nightmare. So the blood that's actually coming down my neck, I get the blood packets. I'm not really a big fan anymore of getting spritzed with blood. I like doing my own blood. So what I do is I take the mouth packets of blood and then I just spit all over my body and just let it run down. Just to get more of that like look of like I literally just ripped somebody's jugular out. And it's just spewing down all over my body.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry about the mix up in the pictures. When I download them, they go in their own order.
All good. All good. Talk about it. Oh, it's my family. So there's me and my cousins. So this was the year right before COVID, and we believe that I might have been one of the first people to actually get COVID. Because I got really sick in the middle of the season and started uncontrollably coughing, and actually coughed so hard that I bruised my vocal cords. And I actually haven't been able to scream properly since. So I used to have this beautiful banshee scream, and I unfortunately lost it during COVID because of that. So I know there was a lot. Here's me performing with the circus. That's me in costume sliding, again, alongside of where the show is set up on grass. And just kind of another little demo thing that I did for people. So, but there's like that's an action shot right there. There's Beth, there's my brother, and then right there in the back, that's Matt. So this is my slider family. These three are I hold them very dear to my heart. So this is at USS Nightmare for their Extreme Night in 2023. We got Beth and I both had worked this season, so we were able to be there. And then we brought the two of them on board. So Nathan Chestnut, Matthew Hall, and Elizabeth Metcalf right there. Amazing scare actors. Absolutely phenomenal. So this was actually a really cool thing that I got to do at Kings Island. They had a competition 1 year after Haunt. So like a lot of haunts do, they have their haunt banquet at the end of the season where they give all their scare actors awards and stuff. Kings Island does the same thing. So what they did 1 year that I was there is that they had the makeup and the costumers create a character. And then that character, whichever character won, would be featured the next year on Ice Street. And actually, both characters ended up winning. But I was the original concept design for the spider that you can now see at Kings Island. It's done a full transformation. It's a completely different look. But it was really cool being able to kind of start that and being one of the first people to introduce that character. That's just me being silly in my pads, just full on dorking it up.
That's how I know you.
Oh, yeah. This is where, so I shortly introduced this green bob wig at USS Nightmare to just add a pop of color to my scare acting, and so I didn't have to worry about what my hair looked like. And then there's the beautiful Beth again, as we were talking about the different rooms that we were going to be in. So right there is that's at USS Nightmare as well. You can see the skyline of the like city line of Cincinnati right behind. That's the Red Stadium right there behind me. But so this was the first initial concept idea of my Firefly character, but before I added all the glitz and glam to her. So this was her initial debut at USS Nightmare in the regular season. So this is my first year sliding at Kings Island. So right there you can kind of see the fit that I was working with. I wore leggings, jean shorts. You can see that little yellow and black bag that's attached to me. That's my trash pouch. And then that year they introduced neon like techno type lines to us, which I thought was really cool, and I loved the concept. And it was really cool because all of the makeup artists actually took all of the sliders' skin tones into consideration about which color they got. So there was yellow, green, orange, and pink, and it was all based off of your skin tone. So I got the yellowish green to match mine. Sorry. There's Beth and I again from it was our first extreme night at USS Nightmare. Just absolutely, we were being absolutely feral in line, just like crawling up to people and just like fighting at their feet, essentially. The two of us would just wrestle on the ground. And it was just something that just disturbed people, and it was just a lot of fun. There's the lovely photo, how Pyle remembers me. This is from when Pyle and I first met at the ICP pop-up haunted house. So they had a little bunny, and I'd been obsessed with the bunny the entire time, and I just desperately wanted a photo with the bunny. But that's the fit from ICP. So it was just a dress that I'd gotten off of Shein, and then I literally just took shears, dirt, and blood to it. So, yeah.
I love that. The bunny I love, but I'm allergic to, so I'm kind of sad I don't get to do that. But I love the idea that you can take something beautiful from Shein, and you can take it and make it you. You can add something to make it more your character. That
Oh,
is
yeah.
a great tip to add. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I definitely fully recommend if you want to get into costuming, it's something I 100% would do. So here again, this is a slider group. Just like these are the people that I go out with. So this was at a slider meetup. So like you can see, we all wear our normal street clothes. We meet up and we have fun. We just go to random parks.
That is cool.
There's me again at USS Nightmare. So now you can kind of see my full fit. So that one is just kind of piggybacking on the costuming stuff. So a lot of the costume pieces that I use, I get off of Shein and Amazon, and I make sure that they're decently cheap. I really don't look for super pricey things. Like, I'm not the person that's going to go spend $100 on a mask or $100 on a top or something like that. Like, I know that it's going to get destroyed. So I personally lean more towards the cheaper end of things, just because I'm a budget-friendly person. So this was me in Coney Mall. So that mask, they actually chose, so when they mold the masks, they can only go on specific face shapes. So I was thankful enough that my face shape worked, and I got this really cool mask, and the slits are fully like open, and they would fill it and they would pack it up with blood to try and make it look more like that slit, like a Joker smile. There's Pyle and I at the Halfway to Haunt event. So, and there's Beth hiding in between the two of us, and then the lovely friend in the background as well.
That's Jester. That's Jester from my haunt. Hey, I know that trailer, and I know where that is.
Yep, that's again at ICP. So yeah, here's another better look at the dress, but it was yeah, it was this beautiful, elegant, just short white dress, and I just took a pair of scissors to it. I still have it. So there's the three of us. So that's Beth and Nick Baldwin. So they both are also have slid at some point. Beth is currently a slider. Nick does still scare, but it was funny because actually right before we went to ICP, we actually found out that we were all going to be sliding together. So it was a really cool bonding moment of getting to work together at ICP and then transitioning into the haunt season and working so closely together. So that's 17-year-old me as a clown when I first started out. I always love the OG makeup for clowns like that, where it's like the triangles over the eyes with the big mouths. Those are the ones that always get me more. Again, me at USS Nightmare. You can kind of see the trash in my hair. So I actually took a wig that I got off Amazon for like $15, and I just braided it and styled it and pinned it back and glued it and sewed it into places. And then I physically glued trash into the wig. And unfortunately, I wish I had a photo of it or the ability to get the wig down, but there's this massive bow that I made where I took an old hairbrush and I took candy wrappers, gummy wrappers, and I just like made a trash bow out of it, which was really cool. So, and there's washers that I braided into the hair and different slider pieces. So there was a lot going on in that wig. So there's more of what you would see right now. So that's a character that I do at USS Nightmare called No Name. She does not talk to people. She does not really interact. And this past year, we even made it to a point where none of the other actors can see her. And she's very much of like, she exists, but they either can't see her or they're like, don't look at it. Don't look at it. Don't make eye contact with it. And if somebody made eye contact with me, I'd jump on the ground and start going crazy. So that one, I do really love that character. It's definitely a good voice rest.
I love the concept of that character. That's one of the coolest things I've heard.
Oh yeah, definitely and it's such a simple character too, kind of like what I was explaining earlier. So there's me at the circus shows of kind of like getting ready and getting into that mental mindset. So that kind of gives you like more of a physical idea. You can kind of see outfit layout in broad daylight. So I've got the leggings, the shorts, a tank top, and I even added suspenders just to hold my britches up better. Because when you're sliding around, if it's not form-fitting to your body, then it's gonna move. And it's not always the best experience. But also, you don't want things to be too form-fitting, otherwise it can be restricting. So it's one of those really hard balances that you gotta figure out. Yeah. There's all of us again. So that's almost all of us. I think we're missing just one person in that photo that went to the halfway, but those were all the sliders that were at Carnage's Halfway to Haunt that they put on in 2023, I believe.
I think you're right.
Yeah, that was still by far one of the coolest experiences I've ever had. And also just, I don't get a chance to really go through many houses with the lights on. And Carnage was one that I always loved Carnage. I always thought that it was such a cool concept. I love the outside concept of it. I loved the graveyard. It was so cool. I never knew where the actors were going to come from. There were so many places to hide, so many cool things. So getting to walk through it with all the lights on, but all the animatronics still going, I got to see things that I never, ever get to see. And it's so cool when you get to see those tiny details and things. It's like when the lights are off, nobody's going to see that. But then you turn them on and you just get to really take in all the experience. So there's another photo. So then later on, we should see the photo of me sliding straight up to this little boy who's completely unfazed, and that's a really funny photo.
I'm okay with the giant banana the person had.
So a big thing that I have the privilege of having is my family supports me. So this is my little sister. She came every year she could. She's currently off at college now, so she doesn't get to come see me. But this was something that was such a bonding experience for the two of us. That coming to see me helped her get over her fear. And so her and I have actually gone to haunts together, and it's so much fun. We went to Halloween Horror Nights this year together, and that was one of the best experiences I ever had. So I absolutely adore my family and the support that they give me. I think I even sent photos of my parents coming and supporting me, but I'm definitely very honored. So yeah, there's another photo of me sliding. So that's a basic slide right there. Like some sliders throw their hands up. It's kind of a balance thing. We never know. I never know what to do with my hands, so my hands end up wherever they end up. And I guess they ended up over my head for that photo. So this is another really cool photo of me at USS Nightmare. They put me in the kitchen scene a lot this year, which was so much fun. There were a lot of fun things that I could crawl under and out of at people. And then there were also a lot of things that they realized now they needed to glue down, because I got a hold of them and they would walk in and I would have a pan on my head and be smacking it with a spoon and just jumping around, bouncing. And they would come in and they'd be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, like, I'm just minding my own business. I'm having the time of my life. So there's us again at Carnage. Again, I just absolutely love Carnage. Such a cool haunt.
It really is, man.
Yeah, there's a great photo. So yeah, so there's Jay. Jay Lewis, amazing slider. Taught me a lot of what I've learned. I've learned from him. I've taken a lot of. He's the one that actually named me Little Rumpke. So I learned a lot from him. A lot of my trash talking comes from that man. He definitely taught me the art of trash talking.
Literally.
Exactly.
That's what I was going to say. Just because of being Lil Rumpke, you can trash talk.
Oh, yeah. And I did. So, yeah. So there's me sitting on a table at USS Nightmare. But, yeah. The makeup concepts for such a... USS Nightmare is such a unique haunt. The concept of it, if you don't know the concept of USS Nightmare, you should totally look into it. The storyline is so much more intricate than people truly understand, and I feel like you don't get a grasp fully of it at the boat. You only get a glimpse of the true, like, story behind the boat. So if you get a chance, I would totally go watch a video on USS Nightmare. Insane haunt, but yeah. There's my lovely Firefly character again. So if you look closely, you can actually see that there's donuts covering me, because another concept for this character was that, so at USS Nightmare, it's the captain and the captain's daughter, Anna, and I decided to take it upon myself and be like, what is every little girl's dream? Why not a doll that's also a clown, that's covered in candy? You can't see it in this photo and everything, but the tutu lights up. I have lights woven into the tutu that'll light up. And I have a speaker attached to me as well, blaring all the white girl songs. Every white girl song you could possibly think of is on that playlist, plus some. Oh yeah, such a cool concept. There's 16-year-old me. Ugh. Braces and all. Yeah, so there's another photo of me at USS Nightmare. So that was on a colder night. So I have Ouija board sweatshirts, and I bring those and I throw those over. So those are always fun. And I actually just got a necklace this year at Transworld. That's the little Ouija board pendant. So I'm hoping to get a really nice chain and be able to wear that some nights. And I think that'd be a really funny concept. Yep, there's my loving parents supporting me, even though they were scared out of their marbles. It took a lot to get that photo, too. They did not want to take a photo. Yep, there's another concept of me.
Dude.
Huh?
I was there for a second. I thought your dad was naked.
Oh my goodness. I hope not.
I'm sorry.
So there's another.
You
That
thought
was
he
actually
was
taken
what?
during. What?
From
I'm
the
sorry, you
angle
thought
I'm sitting,
her dad was what?
from the angle I'm sitting, he looks like the guy who plays Negan.
From Walking Dead.
You know, the Winchester dad?
Oh.
That guy.
Oh,
He looks
I
like
thought
the
you said
actor.
naked, and I'm like,
I thought
at
you
no
said
point,
naked too. I was like,
at no
I hope
point,
he's not naked.
No. That's the type of thing
No,
that Raz would say, not
Negan.
Jimmy.
at no point did I feel that he looked like he was naked.
No.
I feel like our stream would have gotten hit already if
Winchester's
it had
dad.
been.
Don't
Okay,
look now.
back
Mama's
to
got her
the
boobs
very
out, showing
beautiful
everybody in town.
Do I
back
need
to
to take
the
my 20s
beautiful
to the bank
picture
and
on
get
the
some wands? Is
screen.
that what's happening?
Oh. Good job, Friday. You got my brain going the wrong way.
That was not the words I said. Now that's what the words you heard. I
Yeah,
was
I think
thinking
the problem lies with the two of you
Winchester.
thinking that she said he was naked. That's the real problem. That's on different levels based on who she thought. I'm gonna stop here now.
Dude, seriously.
I really
Anyway.
thought she said that.
No. I was talking about an actor.
Let's get back to the pictures.
Not a padded cell, man.
Oh my goodness.
I know. That's why I was so confused. I was like, there's something on his
Alright,
shirt.
after dark.
At what point did you think he was naked?
No. Negan.
point.
Now
0
please. Please, Bret, tell us about this beautiful picture you gave us. And all the pictures. You are absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. I appreciate that so much. So this is from I think this is the first ever photo of my Slider character at USS Nightmare. So this was taken before it was the park was even open. They had a media night, and I didn't even think, like, I think they ended up using this photo, and this photo was posted all over the place. But like, I mean, you can tell by the photo, like, I'm moving, like the way my hair's moving. I literally was walking past the camera and the guy went, "Smile!" And I just went, and just ran away. I was like, I'm not staying. So.
Pal's not paying enough attention. Here's the problem. Pal's still thinking about your dad naked. And every picture is marked from him from here on out.
Oh, there's a photo that I've been telling you about of me stopping in front of the child. And I don't know if you can zoom in on his face, but he is completely unfazed by this. The kid is like just does not care. Like, we are locked eyes, and he's like, nah.
He's like,
nah.
That was cool, but where's your backflip?
No, exactly. Where's your backflip? I can't do a backflip. Sorry, bro. So this is an amazing woman right here. So this is Amy, and she was my clown mama my first year in Coney. She taught me a lot, and she is definitely one of the female scare actors that I look up to. Unfortunately, she is not scaring currently, but I did actually see her recently at one of my circus shows, and she came out to support me. So it really just like full circle moment of you make friends at haunt and they will forever be your friends throughout life. Like I'm 17 years old in this photo, and 4 years later she still talks to me, she still comes to see me at events. So yeah, it
Well,
really just goes to
hopefully,
show the impressions you can make on people.
hopefully she can look at this whole entire video and be like, "Oh, I'm so proud of that kid."
I hope she can. I hope she does.
But don't let your
So
dad watch this. Like, for real, I'm sorry.
oh, he's still gonna watch it. So this photo is the lovely three ladies, my first year of sliding. So there's Beth up front, and then there's the beautiful Corinne right behind her, and we called ourselves the Hex Girls. So
I love that.
yeah, there was three
And
of us.
hopefully you
So
I'm hoping your dad will take the compliment I tried to give him, not the insanity my friends decided.
it's okay.
We'll ask your questions before the
I gotta
show
know.
ends, okay,
I gotta
buddy?
ask this
You
question
will
real quick. I
have
gotta
them
stop.
asked.
What's your dad's name, if it's okay for me to know that? First
Jeff.
name. Jeff, I am so sorry.
The chaos that's ensuing.
We need to put this as the less you know. I think that would have been more appropriate there.
The less you know.
There we go.
I
That's
mean,
good.
we could put the poop monster up.
Yeah, Monster. He calms everybody down.
I warned you about this show. I warned you.
Not enough.
I wasn't ready.
Okay.
I wasn't ready for Friday.
So it is not my fault you misheard me. And Dante is like, you must answer my question. Does she like to build things with blocks? And I'm like, I'll ask, okay? She does. She loves to build things with blocks.
I do really enjoy building things with blocks.
Do
and
we want to take from the pictures and ask the questions of Dante?
I'm scared of more pictures.
Okay. If where did he go? He disappeared. If you're wondering, this is Dante. He had questions, and he knows you're here, and he's like, "But did you ask her? I need to know the answer to that question now."
Oh my goodness!
I'm like, because that's what he's doing in there while we're talking. He's building blocks and listening.
Oh, what kind of blocks?
So he has Legos, he has Duplos, and then he has number number blocks. I don't know if you've ever watched that show with your kids that you have been around. And number blocks is like the best show to teach kids counting ever of all time. But he just got a set today, and he's like the happiest kid ever. But and he wanted to know if you like chocolate milk.
I unfortunately do not do chocolate milk because I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Do you like dark chocolate then?
I do. I love dark chocolate. I do love some good dark chocolate.
What was your favorite stuffy?
My favorite stuffy, growing up, probably my Winnie the Pooh plushie.
Okay. Who was your favorite superhero?
My favorite superhero is the Flash.
2 Flashes in 2 nights.
Flash. Hey,
Flash.
the
If
other
you're
one's
wondering,
for the future, which makes sense though, because it's a pre-recorded show from the future. So you got like present and future Flashes.
Yeah, that was hilarious. And then I think the last one was, what is your favorite cartoon?
My favorite cartoon. Oh, this is so hard because I love cartoons. So probably, you know, I don't even care. Probably Bluey. I love
Okay.
watching Bluey.
Oh,
I
my
can honestly
daughter
say he
wants-
agrees wholeheartedly.
My daughter wants to
Yay!
sit down and watch Bluey with you.
Approval.
Dante
Did you
would too
know
because
the concept of Bluey comes from an old Ren and Stimpy episode with a character that they made called Ooey Kablooey? It was the guy that exploded. It looks very similar to what Bluey ended up looking like.
Interesting.
Raz, I'm going to call BS.
You know
But
what?
anyway,
Look into that.
I'm
No,
gonna call
seriously, look it
BS.
up. I'm dead serious on that. You can look that up, man.
I'm excited.
Okay. On that note, did we already do this picture? Because he came to the door and I got distracted by the cute little boy.
You're so good. So, this is actually my friend Hunter, and he was this was his first year sliding in this photo, and he was one of the people that got me to come over and start sliding. So, I wanted to include that one.
Oh, I love all the pictures you're including. They're amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then there's my amazing friend Frank. I just thought that was a really cute photo. Shows that not all scare actors have to be scary sometimes. Sometimes we can be cute and do selfies. So there's the first haunt I ever worked at, Backwoods Bayou. So this is a really cool photo, and I believe, I don't know if you guys are able to show videos in this, but I think I'll be posting a video of it soon on my TikTok. But a slide that I'm known for is I do a slide into the splits. So this
Holy
is an
crap.
action shot that a YouTuber got of me sliding into the splits.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that is one of the bravest things I've ever heard of, because I accidentally have done the splits 3 times recently, and I was not prepared and it hurt.
Oh
The
yeah.
fact, like I said, that's why I asked about what you do to prepare earlier, because
Oh yeah.
dang, that's amazing.
Oh yeah. It's taken a lot of finagling, and I still I'm not fully sure how I do it. Like, I couldn't talk you through it if I tried. It's just one of those things. So another really cool thing that I've gotten a chance to do is with the circus company I work at, we actually they sell scare actors. So you can hire circus performers to come and scare act at your haunt. So this was one of the first times I ever scare acted on stilts. So I've done stilts for almost 5 years now, and still I've never done a full season of scaring on stilts, and I don't know if I ever will, because I personally mad respect to scare actors on stilts. I personally think that they go through the most. As somebody who's done parades on stilts, just been an atmosphere character on stilts, it's a lot. People naturally come up to you and just hit you, touch you, try to knock you over and stuff. So I can't even possibly imagine what scare actors in the regular season go through when they're on stilts. I mean, that's just got to be an absolutely terrifying experience. Even doing it for one night, I was thankful that it was I did a haunted hayride, so they were nowhere near me, and I was just coming out of the woods to get to them. But I mean, just I've heard horror stories of people physically being shoved over and severely hurting themselves because people got scared and took off running and ran into them, or shoved them over, or attacked them on stilts.
That is scary, but also I love the concept of being on a hayride and this tall, scary thing coming out on stilts out of the woods. That is epicness.
Oh, it was so cool. Yeah, and I had the mouth blood, so I just was dripping blood onto the wagon. So. Oh, yay, we got a video. Oh. Quick video. So in that video, I'm actually screaming, "I have trash." So going back to some of the things that Pio was saying earlier is that I will literally slide, pick up trash, and then get super excited about it and be like, I have it, I have it, I have it.
You took my 50-50 tickets.
And this is just me being silly. I'm just kind of showing the mobility that I have. One of the sliders was making fun of me because I hit the ground really hard. And so like you can hear it. So we're trained. I should be able to tell if you're sliding properly simply by the sound of you hitting the ground. If I can hear you, you haven't done it correctly. Because if you don't do it correctly, you'll make a loud thud when you hit the ground. Versus gently gliding into the ground. So one of the guys was picking fun at me because I did a bad slide and I hit the ground really hard. So that was my retort to him. I went, "I've fallen. Oh no. Oh no." And just rolled around on the ground, just being very dramatic as a response to what he said. And then here's just a basic slide at the camera. So that's a crawl. So this goes back to my whole when telling newbies, like a lesson to give newbies and everything like that, is that everybody does slides differently. So in that video, I'm doing my basic all four slide, but then the way I go into a crawl is I cancel my slide by jumping. So I temporarily launch my body off the air, off the ground into the air, to land back down to stop all momentum. Because when you're sliding, obviously all of your momentum is going forward, so all your body weight is going forward. Well, when you're trying to transition into a crawl, if you try to go straight into a crawl, you are likely to wipe out. And I have wiped out because I didn't cancel my slide. So by jumping and resetting on the ground, it completely cancels the slide that I was doing. So my momentum is no longer going forward, but up, so I can think more of up, down, up, down, up, down on my hands and knees to get that crawl in. So, nitpicking my own slides.
It's actually a good thing to talk to people about, just because, honestly, when you see these people, you're like, oh, look at that. That's amazing. But you're not understanding what they're doing to get at that point.
Oh, yeah. So in that video that we just watched, so that was at USS Nightmare. And the thing about USS Nightmare is that there's not really a whole lot of spaces to slide on the boat. But I did find this one spot in their tunnel as I slide on the graded surface. But because it's a graded surface, I can't put my hands down. So in the video, I put my hands up and I used the rail to keep me going straight forward. So that was always a fun one. I loved doing that one. Oh, so I don't know if you're going to be able to hear this one, but I got a huge shout out my first year as a clown. So I'm just going to go on ahead and touch on this a little bit. So I am a daycare teacher. That's what my full-time job is. I work very closely with children. Kids hold a very special place in my heart. I struggle a lot with scaring children. It's something I don't take joy in. If I see a child crying, I am 100% that scare actor that will get down on my hands and knees and just be silly with them. I don't think scaring children and making them cry makes you a good scare actor. And I've heard a lot of scare actors, especially a lot of newbies, very much are like, "Oh, I'm so good. I made that group of kids cry." And I'm like, that group of 5 and 6-year-olds that are probably scared to death of you right now? Yeah, of course you made them cry. You probably traumatized them for life.
we're very against that ourselves, dude. Like, that's something we take so seriously in acting training too. Like, you could have just ruined that child from ever wanting to experience another haunt again. And then what are you doing with your career that you think that's cool?
Exactly. It's not something that I enjoy, but I have met a lot of kids over the years. So like this little girl in this video, she was not scared of me whatsoever. Like, walked straight up to me, grabbed my arm, and said, "I want to see this scare actor." And I was like, "Bet, I'll take you to him right now." And I walked her through the whole maze, like through the whole scare zone, screaming for this actor to try and find this actor for this little girl. And that was a huge thing that I got recognized for, and I got a lot of praise and a lot of backlash for it because it was very 50-50. A lot of people were like, "Yeah, you did the right thing." And other people were like, "Why aren't you scaring the child? Like, that's your job. You're a scare actor." If you can't scare them, make them laugh. I just want everybody to have a memorable experience. I know that I'm not a scary person. Like I said earlier, I am 110 pounds. I am 5'3". I know I don't look that intimidating. But I definitely can creep people out. And I definitely weird people out. And I definitely play more towards that disturbing but silly type of character that kids can come up to, but teenagers are too freaked out to come near.
I think that's like should be our like across the board motto as haunters, man. You can't scare everyone, but you can entertain them.
Exactly. There's my first ever slide, captured on video for your viewing pleasure. But
Thank you.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, like that's literally what we did when I first started out. Like, we just took videos, and I mean, I slide nothing like that now, obviously, but it was always a really cool thing. And then here's me being silly. So actually, funny enough, in this video, at the very beginning of it, and it's not really a funny thing, but at the very beginning of this video, you can't hear it, but in the first second of this video, you actually hear an actor say, "Don't touch me." Very much of a very fed up voice, like you know, like you've heard them, like they've probably said it a million times for this person to stop. And when I posted this video, a lot of people like asked me about it, and I was like, "Yeah, that is a regular thing." Like, I'm like, people were just baffled at the fact that there was this person in like that they could hear in my video begging people to stop touching them. And for some people, they just can't mentally, like people that have never scare acted. Like, my parents mentally can't comprehend why somebody would just randomly come up to me and hit me. That's just something that my family, a lot of my friends that don't scare act, they just mentally can't comprehend why somebody would do that. And it's an unfortunate thing, and I wish I understood why people wanted to just constantly come up and touch people.
Most importantly, think they have the permission to walk up and touch people.
Exactly. Here's the split. So there you go, right into the splits, and then two of my friends jump over my legs and crawl through other people's legs. So that was kind of the first ever slider shows at Kings Island from my knowledge. We had a lot of trick sliders my first year. So me with the splits, and we had one guy, I think the max people he ever jumped over were 5 people lying on their backs on the ground, and he jumped and cleared all of them only on his knees. Didn't use his hands, no push off, no feet push off, like full just jump. Mid-slide, just launched his body off the ground. I wish I had videos of that because it's so cool. And then this is another
this
trick.
This is a good one.
Yeah, this is another trick. Actually, Pyle screams in this video, "You can do it." So, yeah, so that was a 3 or 4 person tunnel, but I can do them. The max I've ever done is I think about 10 people. I've slid through 10 people's legs at one time.
Now, we brought up in this show in the beginning different types of sliding.
Yes.
And how you can slide on different items. In that video, if you look, there is so many cracks on that asphalt that it was kind of a challenge for some of you guys. And then they got that entire parking lot repaved.
Yeah. Yep. It's a lot. Here's another trick slide. Yeah, it definitely has to do a lot with the pavement. But, I mean, once you've done it for so long, you kind of learn how to deal with the cracks. But, I mean, like, it really does depend on the crack. I know at USS Nightmare, I hit one in that parking lot, and I completely wiped out and actually took my speaker out with me and, like, broke a $75 speaker that I had on me. Thankfully, they have an amazing tech team at USS Nightmare and helped me fix it. But so here's a good video. So when sliding, a lot of people think you need to get a lot of running momentum, and I did in this video, but you really don't need much. You really just need your one leg push off. But if you are going to get a big momentum slide and you're trying to get this big crazy slide, at a place like Kings Island, you're never going to have a straight shot to just run and do it. So, like, in that video, I was waiting for this guy, and I was hoping that he was going to move, and then I realized that he was watching me and trying to see what I was doing, so I had to run around him to get to what I wanted to do. So, all the different obstacles. And then here's my so the slider community definitely is a male-dominated sport, but I'm seeing a lot more female sliders rising up and taking over and pushing a lot of guys that have been in the spotlight out of the spotlight. And it's really hard, especially since I've been doing it for 3 years and I still have, like, men come up to me and are just like, nah, you can't be nearly as good as these guys over here, though. And I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, we're all sliders. I try not to think that I'm better than anybody else or less than anybody else. I think that everybody has the potential to improve on everything that they do. And I think that as a haunt community, we need to support one another. And whether that's rising one specific person up or rising an entire group up. I know that the Ohio Haunters Association, I know that they've done a lot. Like, you guys have done a lot helping smaller haunts and just helping promote them and getting their names out. So I'm really liking what I'm seeing a lot now is that I'm seeing a lot of love in the haunt community. And then all the silly TikToks. But yeah.
Sounds like we need to kidnap you and Beth during one of our off-season events, man.
I would absolutely love to do that. I've been
Open
wanting
invite.
to do. I'm always down for pop-up events.
Yeah.
I pulled my haunt character out at the indie Days of the Dead
Hell
a few
yeah.
seasons ago.
Yeah, anytime, man. Open invite.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So here's a kind of like how Kings Island does their haunt banquet. So there's me on the stage doing my thing. Still just an amazing honor to be able to do that. It was so cool. So this is a prime example of something we call up, down, up, down. So I went from one slide, completely redirected into another slide. And we actually just recently used this video as a example for training earlier this week. We were trying to explain like how it would work because we practice zigzag patterns and just going up, down, up, down, up, down with sliding. Not only does it build strength in your legs and stamina, but it also teaches you how to get from one person to the next person to the next person without breaking your stride and without breaking momentum.
That is awesomeness incarnate.
Thank you. Oh, did I double send it? I might have.
There is a very big possibility I downloaded it twice because my internet is being flunky. Okay. That's all of them.
Yay, that was a lot.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
A lot.
Dude, my girly girl can see that we got to interview a girl slider, and one of her favorite videos about haunters is, Mommy, you gotta see the slider. Mommy, you gotta see the slider. And now she sees we got to talk to a girl slider, and she can choose her future from what she wants, is what I'm trying to say, like you have.
Oh yeah. I would have never thought in a million years that I would be in the place that I'm currently in, and I have worked my ass off to get to this point. I've made a lot of connections. I've made a lot of friends. And something kind of like we mentioned earlier is that I try to be a very happy, I try to be a very smiley person. I try to be very sweet to everybody. Because I want to be a memorable person. And I know in the haunt community it's so hard because like at these events, you meet so many different people and there's so many different faces and so many different names. But if you have one small thing that's kind of unique to you, it helps you stand out. So I always try to come in with the utmost respect, kindness. I never want to tear another actor down. That's a big thing that I've been pushing a lot. I know there's a lot of competition at some haunts to be different things because they have face characters. They have sliders, but they can only take so many. They have so many of this, so many of that, and like these are the top tiers. But at the end of the day, we're all actors, and we all go through different things. Not only do we go through different things, but we're also going through different things throughout our lives and everything. A really big struggle that I had was one night I was scaring and just kind of touching on my dad. My dad had an incident while I was at work and had to go to the hospital, and it was really bad and very scary situation. This was when I was 17 years old. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't have my phone on me. My boyfriend at the time found me on the street scare acting and like pulled me behind scenes and like got me on the phone with my sisters. And I remember being on the phone just being like, okay, I'm going to go tell my supervisor, I'm going to grab my stuff and I'm going to go. And my sister's going, no, we're fine. Dad doesn't want you to come. He wants you to keep working. And just having to go from knowing that my dad was possibly going into emergency surgery, but that he wanted me to keep working because he knew that I was needed there, that I was wanted there, that there was nothing that I could do for him at the hospital, but there was more that I could do scaring on the street, was just insane, of having to put that aside and go out and pretend like none of that just happened. Because I've got teenagers barking at me, girls telling me that I'm ugly, like Karen screaming at me saying, "You looked at my child weird. How dare you? They have a Nobu on." Like just all this stuff, and having to stay completely calm, not knowing what's going to happen when I get home that night. And it's just, you don't know what people are going through. So going in with the utmost kindness and the utmost respect towards literally everybody, I think is something that all actors should do. Like, there's no good actors, there's no bad actors. We're all actors. We're all here. This is all something that we love. We all do it for our own reasons. And the reason that you do it should be personal to you. I do it because it's my one way of feeling like I have a voice. Because like I said, I'm this tiny woman. Like I don't really make much of an uproar, but I've made an uproar in my haunt community, in my little circle. I am known for being a very mama bear when I need to be. I'm not afraid to get in somebody's face. I'm not afraid to go fight that guest. I'm not afraid to rip this 6'3", 200+ pound man off of an actor and tell him to back off and this is what you fucking paid for. Like it's a lot. And especially being a woman in this industry and knowing that there are men that look at me and are like, "You're not scary." Yet every night that I go out, I prove them wrong.
And
I
I just want to
show no fear. Like I said earlier, I show no fear, even if I'm scared shitless. I don't show any fear. And I really, really fight that.
listen. I'm taking my glasses off here for a second so I can be serious. You just told us this like amazing story about your dad. I just want Pyle to feel shame for a minute because again, we are so sorry.
Sorry, Jeff.
You
You're
know
the best,
what?
Jeff. Like, man.
I'll make you a deal. All right. I want to meet your dad. Tell him what a wonderful person he actually is. And you know how I operate.
And apologize for talking about him being naked. Like, let's throw that in there.
I'm not apologizing for a good time.
Okay, I mean, as
I
long
will
as you
never
bring the
apologize for a
tearaway
good
pants
time.
and the chicken wings, and maybe you guys can work something. I don't know.
My dad would probably run away screaming.
But thank you, Jeff. Thank you for having an amazing daughter who you take very good care of and support. And again, we're sorry.
But what I'm saying is, you know how I am. If I'm going to go and I'm going to talk, usually it's, hey, I'm going to treat you to pizza or something like that. Because I take care of haunt actors.
Yeah.
And when I have a good crew, I like to make sure that their parents know. So you know what? If I ever meet your dad, it would be a wonderful blessing to meet that man. Because he's absolutely taken the time, and your entire family has absolutely raised such a wonderful and inspiring girl.
Thank
and I'm
you.
very proud of knowing you all these years.
Thank you.
And we always say that we need to get together, and it is hard with our schedules. And
Yes.
I tried to go to one of your circus performances, and just, man, my time is very limited.
I'm going to throw this out there. Isn't Dayton kind of almost halfway for you guys? From like the outreaches on which you guys are?
Dayton might be the halfway point. Yeah, I know Hell's Dungeon's probably about a 45-minute drive for me.
What, about a 55-minute hour for you, Pyle?
About 50-minute to an hour and some.
See, there you go. Bam.
Yeah.
But I do a lot of stuff down in Cincinnati too.
That's good. You.
I always get the lovely notifications on Snapchat saying that Pyle just got to Cincinnati. Those are always my favorite when they pop up, like just randomly on my phone. They'll just pop up and they'll just be like, "Pyle's in Cincinnati," and I'm like, "What are you doing in Cincinnati?"
Mostly it's work, but there was one time I came down and tried to help some people, and someone helped me decide I needed a new car because he ran into the back of my car. And it was parked on a street. So, yeah. Have a new vehicle.
Go down to Hamilton and put up Halloween decorations, too.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, we're at our 2 hour mark, and it's been wonderful talking to you. And I am so sorry for some reason I have perfect internet on every device, but it just says no, we don't need you in this show. So I thought about the last time just saying in the comments, fine, be that way, Mr. Internet. But I am glad that I got another opportunity to see you. I do want to come down to night USS Nightmare. And the fun fact is I still want the head honchos from US Nightmare to come on the show because I want to talk more about that. And because I know the deep dark secret it's not USS Nightmare, it's USS Nightmare 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is the second boat, yeah.
When you guys open this season?
So funny enough, I never scare opening weekends of any haunt because they all open the same weekend.
Right.
And that same weekend at Legend Valley, a lovely rave happens that I always go to. So I believe that this year it would be September 19th, September 18th, 19th.
Dang it.
Yeah, so
That's the weekend after we open, but we don't open until a Saturday. So we always, on the Friday before, we look at haunts that are open so we can take a big group of us out. Like, we split our groups between multiple haunts to kind of go out and support people.
Oh,
And
that's
we
so
haven't had to
nice.
do the Nightmare yet.
What days do you guys run again?
Only Fridays and Saturday.
So USS Nightmare is open Thursday through Sunday.
Oh, we did not know that. Okay, we're gonna come visit you as the whole haunt this year then, probably.
Oh yeah, and I'm normally there on Thursdays. Thursdays are the day that 9 times out of 10 I will be there on a Thursday.
Good to know.
That's actually what I was going to ask before we got done because I was pretty sure you did Sunday, but I wasn't quite sure if you did Thursday or not. And it would be such a treat to see you actually acting without people throwing glow sticks at you.
If nothing else, we'll do a Rouse adventure down there, man.
Oh yeah.
I would say I currently don't know what my home haunt will be this year. I've been given a few different offers and I'm taking a few things into consideration. I don't want to speak anything into the atmosphere right now, but I will take a moment to plug if you would like to figure out this information. I will most likely be posting on my Instagram, green_goddesses13, and or on my TikTok, green_girly13. So you can find me on Instagram and TikTok under the name Green Girly or Green Goddesses. But give me a follow, give me a like.
Are you still taking offers from haunts at this point? Or have you decided or you got it narrowed down?
So I have it narrowed down to a few different options right now, but nothing's set in stone, and I really won't know anything probably until end of August, very beginning of September. Like, it's going to be really cutting it close.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But it's really going to depend on if a few things go through. Once these things go through and if they actually take hold and stay, then I'll know which places I'm going to. So.
Keep in mind, we're always around, man.
Oh yeah. If some of them don't work out, I might just go and pop up at a few random haunts.
You know, we got Sebastian. I'm getting another 3 people from Kings Island this year. I'm getting 1 person from USS Nightmare. A bunch of places. A bunch of people are coming this year that we didn't have before.
Who's coming from USS Nightmare?
I can't tell you we're live because I don't want to.
Ooh, after, I'm excited.
But no matter what, it's always a pleasure seeing you. Thank you very much for coming on the show. I got a feeling that if we can get a couple sliders together, maybe we'll do some filming and maybe we'll do a pre-recorded while you guys are having a sliding day.
Yeah, that'd be
cool.
so cool. Oh, I would love to. Yeah, I can absolutely talk to them and figure that out and try and coordinate something like that. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I could edit you guys the whole reel.
Yes.
So no matter what, you have yourself a good one. We're going to go ahead and close out the show. And is there any place else you want people to find you? You said you're Tiki of the Talkie, and you said the Insty of the Gram.
Mm-hmm.
So
those are mostly the ones. Yeah, I'm a very private person when it comes to my personal life. So unless I know you, I'm not going to add anybody on personal social media. So if you would like to talk to me, the best way would probably be to contact me through my Instagram. Again, green_goddesses13, or my TikTok green_girly13.
That's awesome. I'll tell you, I am that type of creeper person, and she did okay me for being a actual friend, so that was her mistake.
I worked with you before I added you, though.
That's totally true.
And that was well before you talked about her father.
See, Russ is going to beat this poor horse until she's dead, and I feel bad.
I will. Sorry,
because,
Jeff.
You know, I don't know what to really say.
Oh
and now you got the actual.
After this and tell him all of this, and he's going to be like, "Why?"
Now you got a judging horse.
Yeah, the horse.
Okay, as long as you go back to the part where I was trying to compliment that he was he looks like my favorite actor who played Negan. Yeah.
To be 100% honest, I will just tell you right now, I've never heard Negan before. So the way you were saying it and me not knowing what the heck a Negan was, I thought you said naked really quick. So maybe pronunciate a little better in my eyes.
Just understand that you weren't the only one and feel better about that.
Hey, it's been a pleasure having you, and it's been a pleasure having Dr. Raz. And Friday, can we name you 13? We should just put Friday 13.
It's 23. Thank you.
Friday 23?
Yes.
Well,
there's a reason behind that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. I was just thinking Friday 13 sounds really awesome on this show, but Friday 23 sounds good too. So you guys all have a great one, and we thank you for watching the show. So if you like this and you want to see more about it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channels.
And I'm trying to get the other platforms up for Chandler's Haunted Secrets. There's a Facebook page. There's an Instagram. I'm trying to get those going. There's a YouTube. You can even email us if you would like to be one of our haunters on the show at chainershauntedsecrets@gmail.com.
Absolutely. And I think the next show that we have, I think we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up in May here in Ohio, because, you know, it's been announced, but we're kind of past my 2 hours.
I hear in like 2 shows from now that's discussed.
Oh, yeah. I hear something about this will be said on the 13th of next month.
Yes. It was definitely not pre-recorded at all.
Yeah. Definitely not.
But anyway.
So, we're going to go ahead and close out the show. Well, we thank you guys very much. And always, don't forget to smile.
Be an interview friend.
Bye.